Drunk driving is a dangerous epidemic that's led to many teen deaths. If you're drinking, designate a non-drinking driver to drive home. Get an Uber or find another ride home. Never let your friends drink and drive. And even if you aren't drinking, remember to wear your seatbelt and remind others too. Seatbelts can reduce the rate of serious injury and crashes by up to 50%. Remember, drunk driving is never okay. Choose not to drink and drive and help others choose to do the same. For more information on teen drinking and driving, visit cdc.gov.
Next, we have a field hockey interview with Jake, Jordan, and Brianna.
Welcome back to SHS This Month. Today we're doing a field hockey interview with Brianna Moreno and Jordan Coleman. And so we got a couple questions lined up. And the first question is, what were the main things you guys did in the off-season to work to improve, just to make sure you guys are ready for the season?
We did some captain's practices around, the beginning of August, and we just really got back into it, especially with the new girls that were starting off this year. Personally, I wish we had done a little bit more conditioning.
Yeah.
Just because it was a lot getting into it. So.
What about you, Jordan?
I played in a 7v7 summer league to get ready. And that was pretty fun. And I went to the captain's practices, and I just tried to get out and run.
Awesome. Next question is, how's the season going so far? Brianna?
It's going good. We definitely don't have as many wins as we did this time last year, but I think the next few games we definitely have a shot at them. So.
What about you, Brianna?
Yeah. You can tell we're putting in, the effort. We just need to convert that into goals and wins.
Awesome. Next question is, what is the team's biggest strengths?
I think, intensity. Once we get out on the field, we put out, all we've got. Our sprinting is really good. We really try to get to the ball as fast as we can to beat the opponents. So.
I think on defense we have some pretty good clears, and like Ree said, we're pretty fast.
Yeah, they're getting stronger too.
Yes. Next question is, what is some of the team's biggest weaknesses that you guys are trying to improve on in practice?
Communication and spreading out. Just because during games we usually clump up, but we need to learn how to spread out so we have someone to pass it to once we do get the ball.
Yeah, definitely the bunching and clumping up during a game. When you're on the sideline, you can just see a bunch of girls all attacking the same ball.
Yeah.
So.
And we got one last question is, who is the biggest factor players on the team right now, you guys would say?
We have a few.
Yeah.
But I'd say Catherine Giroux.
Definitely, yeah.
She's always attacking the ball. She's getting hit, but she's still showing the same intensity, beating the others. I'd say Carly too.
Yeah.
Her skill work is really good.
I'd say Carrie. She has really strong clears. Yeah. She's always up there getting the ball out. So.
Awesome. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to do this interview.
Thank you for having us.
All right, next we have the candy bracket with me, Miguel, Charlie, Jake, and Joe.
Hi, I'm Miguel, and welcome to the second edition of SHS This Month. Today we got some fun for you guys today. Halloween candy we'll be talking about. So I'm here with
Joe, Charlie,
me,
and Jake.
And so, Joe, you want to get us started on this bracket?
All right, so we have 8 Halloween candies on the board up here. We're going to go one bracket at a time, and we're all going to discuss and choose a winner. So our first matchup is Twix versus Snickers.
Oh, don't forget to mention the seeds.
Yeah, we just put it in at random. So, Charlie, you're up first.
I'm obviously just going to have to go with Twix here. I mean, it's just the better candy bar all around, better taste.
Yeah, I would agree. I'll also vote for Twix.
I'm also voting Twix. I think Twix is a staple of the chocolate.
Yeah, I think Twix.
Hey, who are you?
I'm just agreeing.
Nah, I think Twix is a staple of the chocolate community.
Nah, I think so too.
Bro's gonna say Wait.
What
Nah,
about you,
I'm going with Twix too. Simple.
All right, so I think we're all in agreement that Twix is going to move on. All right, on to the next one. Oh, a controversial one. We have candy corn versus the Hershey's bar. Why don't we start with Jake this time?
All right, I'm going with candy corn.
I'll talk for the next one.
And I say this just because I just like how during Halloween, when you think of a candy, I think candy corn is like probably like the most iconic, and overall, it just tastes really good as well.
Me?
I agree with Jake. It's like when you see Halloween, you think of like candy corn and whatnot. But personally, I like Hershey bars, so I think I gotta go with the Hershey bar.
For me, I think Hershey bars are just a bit bland, you know? They're just, unless it's the cookie and the cream, that one's good.
Yeah, cookie and
But
cream with their fries.
candy corn is it's iconic. It's not the best tasting, but it's not the worst. So I'll go candy corn in this one.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna go with Hershey bar. I think Hershey bar, it's a classic. It's got its own theme park. Like you can make s'mores. It's really versatile. It can do a lot. It can do more than candy corn. Candy corn's seasonal. You know, it's not great. What about you?
I'm gonna have to go with the Hershey bar here. Candy corn, in my opinion, is definitely not the best candy. It's not very well tasting, so I'm gonna have to go Hershey bar.
Yeah, especially like those small ones. I think they call it
The big ones and the small ones taste the same.
No, they don't. The ones that like have like the peanut butter on them, you know, they're better.
All right, so Hershey's takes that round. Next round, Skittles versus Sour Patch. Got the battle of colors, like a nice rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Jake, let's hear what you have to say.
You know, I'm gonna go with Skittles. I think that it's just like it's a more simple candy, but it's also just a better tasting candy. Like Sour Patch, like it's kind of sour. Like obviously it's sour, but like if you're eating it and you have like something like water after, like oh, the taste is just terrible, and you can't even lie.
Dog, what?
Me.
All right, me. Let's see what you got.
I gotta go with Skittles. Personally, I like Skittles more. Sour Patch. If it's watermelon, I have to go with Sour Patch, but usually they don't hand out the watermelon ones, so Skittles.
Charlie, what do you have to say?
Well, in my opinion, Sour Patch Kids are my favorite candy, so obviously I'm going to have to go with Sour Patch Kids. Skittles, don't get me wrong, a great candy, but Sour Patch Kids I just appreciate more.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's a great matchup. It's a tough first round. You know, two powerhouses colliding, but I'm going to have to go with Sour Patch Kids. I think it's a just clear Skittles, gotta be honest.
You guys put me under a lot of pressure, but I'm going to have to say Sour Patch Kids.
Why?
I mean, Skittles is just too much work. You gotta chew a lot, and then, like, who else is doing it? And Sour Patch is just, as Jake said, it's just sour.
Yeah, but it also has like all this stuff on it though. The Sour Patch Kids.
It's called Sour Patch Kids.
That's what makes it sour,
No, like,
Jake.
you know, like sour.
Other than that, it would just be a gummy bear.
I forget what it's called.
All right, let's move on. All right, our last match with the first round is kind of cut off, but we have M&M's versus Kit Kat. Jake, why don't you just start us off?
I'm gonna go with M&M's here. I think it's just a better candy. Simple as that.
Me?
I think you get more with M&M's than a Kit Kat, so I think I might have to go with M&M's.
I'm also gonna have to go with M&M's. I'm not gonna lie. I love Kit Kat, and the Kit Kat flavors like the dark chocolate and even the strawberry ones.
Yeah.
Really good. But M&M's, they got like the brownie, the peanut, and it's a classic, especially for the Super Bowl commercials. You know.
Solid take. Not that it matters anymore, but I personally would go with Kit Kat. I just like it better, to be honest.
Do you break it or bite it?
Break it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Good man.
I bite it sometimes.
You just bite the Kit Kat?
Why not?
No, you're weird.
All right,
I would go Kit Kat too, but I can respect the M&M's. And
I definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice matchup.
But biting the Kit Kat is crazy.
That's not really
You gotta
a
break.
lose-lose match.
No, you need help.
All right,
It's just why not? Everybody says you have to bite it.
No,
so why
but
am I
like-
gonna listen to everyone?
we're back to the top here. We got Twix versus Hershey bars. Why don't you start us, Miguel?
Twix solos this. Hershey bars are very dog, not good. Milk chocolate's not that good. You know, it's just Twix solos.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Hershey bars, it's good. It's a staple, but Twix is better.
Twix is much better.
What do you have to say, Jake?
I'm going with Hershey bars. And I say this because I prefer the overall taste, and I think it's just a better bar in my opinion than Twix.
Meat? What you gotta say?
Twix.
Twix.
Twix moves on pretty.
All right, next one up. We got Sour Patch Kids
Oh.
versus M&M's. Mr. Caputo, let's see what you got to say.
Oh, well, obviously I'm taking Sour Patch all the way here because, well, obviously it's my favorite candy. So, but in all opinion, I do think Sour Patch Kids. There's a lot more going on there than M&M's. M&M's pretty chill, but I'm gonna go with Sour Patch Kids.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with Sour Patch Kids. Pretty similar reasoning. Like, I don't know. I just like Sour Patch Kids. M&M's kind of good, but they're a little bland.
Jake, what you gonna choose?
I'm choosing Sour Patch Kid. Sour Patch.
Meat?
I'm maybe the odd one out here. I feel like, but I'm I'm gonna have to go with M&M's. I just feel like personally, I can eat M&M's longer, or like not longer, but like
I think they're more savory.
yeah. Like,
I would also, not that it matters, but I would go with M&M's as well.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup though.
Yeah.
Good matchup. So Sour Patch Kids moves on, and if it wants to, I believe we're in our finale here.
Oh.
We have Twix versus Sour Patch Kids. Jake, you start us off, please.
You know, I'm going with Sour Patch. I think that it's just honestly the better candy, a little bit more creative. Can't really go wrong.
Creative?
With it. Yes, it's more creative.
Okay. Charlie, I don't think we know what you're gonna say, but let's hear it anyway.
Twix. I love Twix. It's a great candy bar, but Sour Patch Kids I gotta take.
Mr. Rush?
I'll be different here. I'm gonna go with Twix. I think we're talking about Halloween candy. A little bit more of a Halloween staple. Twix.
Mr. Smack will also choose Twix here, so Gundy Rodney, it's down to you.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Twix. I think Twix is easily the winner.
in.
Wow.
Yeah, Sour
like we
Patch,
have our winner.
not really my favorite candy.
So you'd say Twix is more creative, as Jake would say.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know where you got creative
Left
from.
or right,
You know,
though?
You're eating kids.
Left 100%
Left
left.
Twix.
I agree with that.
What?
Left or right Twix?
Left.
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 That was our bracket about Halloween candy. We hope you enjoyed watching. It's been
Joe.
Charlie.
Me.
Jake.
and Miguel. Thank you for watching.
Now we have Jordan and Janessa's podcast for Halloween.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Janessa.
And in honor of Halloween coming up, we're going to be talking about our scary movies.
The first movie we're going to be talking about is It. Have you seen it?
I did see it. I thought it was a good movie overall. I haven't seen it since it first came out, so I kind of forget some of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember Pennywise being pretty scary.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie that's better on your first time watch, but there's still like a few good scares that hold up.
Yeah, I agree. Like when you first watch a horror movie, the first time you're not expecting a jump scare, so it is more scary.
One of my favorite Halloween movies is The Conjuring. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen the first two. I think they were pretty good. I like the aesthetics. I like the darkness of it all,
Yeah.
the music. But I didn't find them that scary.
Really? The second one is like really scary to me, especially like there's like this old man in it, and like the dead old man, like that really freaks me out for some reason. I don't know why. What about Scream? Have you ever seen that?
I've seen a few of them. I think that they're all pretty much the same. I find them more funny than scary.
Yeah. The suspense is really good. Like you don't know who the killer is
Yeah.
at first, but they're like not scary at all.
No.
Other than that, have you ever seen A Quiet Place?
I have. I think the idea is good, but I don't think it was executed very well. It's just a silent movie, and it just gets boring after a while.
Yeah, like the idea on paper seems good. Like not being able to talk or whatever, but like having an audience sit through that and watch that can kind of get boring.
Yeah.
But horror is my favorite genre, and I'll pretty much like watch any of them. Thank you for joining us for our Halloween movie discussion. Back to SHS this month.
We have a few students interviewing Mr. McLean and Mr. Millian.
Hi, my name is Christopher Lee, and I'm here with...
Mr. McLean. Thanks, Chris.
I'm here to ask Mr. McLean some questions about SHS and before he worked here at SHS. So the first question is, How did you become a history teacher, and what college did you go to?
So I went to Hamilton College in upstate New York and had studied government there. Wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do with that. I worked at Boston City Hall for a couple of years. Not necessarily a dead-end job, but I knew that I wanted to do something with kids, and that was how I went on to pursue my master's degree. I did that at Boston College, and I've never looked back. That was 12 years ago, and things have worked out pretty well, both in general and education, but especially here at Stoughton High.
All right. The second question I have for you is, how long have you been working at SHS?
I've been a teacher at SHS for 11 years. So I've been a teacher, like I said, for 12. I did 1 year in Natick, and for the last 11, I've been a teacher here at SHS.
All right. So out of all the classes you teach at SHS, what is your favorite class to teach?
Unequivocally, my favorite class to teach is American Studies that I teach with Ms. Cedarquist. And I think it's more, although that is US 2, I think that class has many different topics that I enjoy teaching. I do like teaching current events. I do like teaching world history. But yeah, unequivocally, my favorite class to teach is American Studies to juniors.
Out of all the classes you teach, what is your favorite event to teach in class?
So not necessarily an event, but an era. I really enjoy teaching the 1960s. I think that it is a topic or an era that's very relatable to the kids that take the class with me in American Studies US 2, as it encompasses the culture of the 1960s, the politics of the 1960s, the Vietnam War, and the Civil Rights Movement. So I think those are kind of four very good topics kind of encased in one that makes that my favorite era to teach.
And the final question is, you like to share with us that you're a referee for sports. What is your favorite sport to referee for?
I referee both basketball and football. Basketball I've been doing for 15 years. It is certainly my first love in terms of refereeing, not in general. And I also referee football. If I had to choose between the two, although I really do enjoy doing them, both of them, football is certainly my favorite one to referee.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McLean, for your time. I'm Christopher Lee, and this was for SHS This Month.
Hi, I'm Eli. I'm here with Mr. Moon, history teacher. I'm here to ask you a few questions about yourself.
All right.
So my first one is, like, who or what inspired you to be a history teacher?
Who or what inspired me to be a history teacher? There's like multiple things that inspired me to be a history teacher. I think the impact that, you know, two of the teachers that I had who are still here, actually, Dr. Scalane and Miss Manchester, had on my knowledge and what history was about. And I think probably the most important reason why I'm a history teacher, a teacher in general, is probably Dr. Davis. You wouldn't know him because he was a principal here probably before you were even born. But he was also a history teacher, and he wrote books on World War II in the U.S. He wrote books on Asia, and me and him had such a great relationship and a great rapport. I consider him like a mentor, and he's probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm even teaching now. And if he could see me now, it would be great. I wish he could see me now, but he's passed away. But I'm doing this teaching thing. A little bit of it is because of him.
Mm-hmm. All right, my second question for you is, what college did you go to?
I went to Bridgewater State, which is probably about 15, 20 minutes away from here, not too far. It was a good school for education, but I didn't even actually go there for education. I went there for communications.
Okay. My third question is, like, where did you grow up, and, like, what were some of your hobbies as a kid?
Where I grew up in Stoughton. As you heard, I went to Stoughton High School. My hobbies, I think you know my hobbies. My hobbies is to play basketball and get buckets. I love, I love basketball. That's what I do. I listen to music and I do a little bit of writing on the side, but mainly my hobbies are just to play basketball, hang out with friends and play with my daughter because I got a daughter too. So.
Okay. My fourth question for you is, like, what was, like, your favorite history lesson you have delivered in the past years?
So I've only been doing history for 2 years, but in the lessons that we've done, I gotta say that the best lesson that I think is doing the Civil War, because I really think it gives you a great sense of what went on during these times, and you break down like the differences and how the differences caused a lot of tension. We go through differences right now, and I do that because you don't want history to repeat itself. But the biggest thing is like you get a good sense of like what it was like in those times, you know, how hard it was for people in those times. And we show the movie Glory, which is probably one of my favorite movies with Denzel Washington and Matthew Broderick, and it's like it's just a fantastic lesson. And you see the trouble that Abraham Lincoln went through to try to, you know, stop slavery, and the anger and resentment that he dealt with. And I just love going over that lesson.
All right, another question I have for you is, like, since some know you as the Stolen High School leading scorer, how was your basketball career?
So I gotta stop you though, because I'm the boys' all-time leading scorer. I'm not gonna disrespect Charmaine Steele. Charmaine Steele used to get buckets. She was a former girls coach. I went to high school with Charmaine, so I got to see her. Put in work. But yeah, for the boys, I was the boys' all-time leading scorer, and I had a pretty good career. I was a league MVP for 2 years in high school. I was an all-star. I was a McDonald's All-American nominee. My AAU team was one of the better teams in the nation. We had placed all the way up to second place in the nation at one point in time. So I'd say that my high school career was pretty good, and I loved every minute of it. You know, it's about working hard, putting in the time, putting in the effort, and, you know, all that dedication helps you in the real world. And what I do now is I like to try to make an impact on some kids who play basketball, who are trying to get to the level and even surpass the level that I've been at. So that's why I coach a little bit as well.
Okay. My last question for you is, who is your favorite music artist and why?
My favorite musical artist, it's not even a question. It is Tupac Shakur, and I think the reason why I like Tupac Shakur so much is because Tupac can give you different avenues of music. He can give you a little bit of rage, give you a little bit of passion, give you a little bit of sensitivity in some of his songs. Like Dear Mama, when I listen to Dear Mama, I really think about, you know, what my mother went through and the struggles coming here to a new country where she didn't have nothing. And I think about how she put in the work and effort to have our family be successful. So that song hits my heart. And, you know, the Tupac has other songs that, you know, might not be appropriate for school, but, you know, I still like Tupac. I still mess with Tupac. That's my favorite artist.
Okay. This is my interview with Mr. Million, and thanks for joining us in SHS this month.
Thank you for joining us on SHS This Month's second edition. We hope to see you back here in November for our third edition.